Tonight's Monday Night Raw made some interesting choices. I'm not sure if they were good interesting or bad interesting or maybe a little of both, because we had Oba Femi decimate a tag team, right? And I was a little iffy on that. I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about this. And I'm a big Oba Femi supporter. But then later in the evening, Jacob Fatu not only decimated the Usos, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, but the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, along with them. And I was like, yeah, that's the Jacob that I like to see. The only difference between these are the fact that maybe I don't like an overpowered babyface, and that's what Oba Femi is. And Jacob Fatu, he is definitely a heel right now, and I do like powerful heels. But yeah, I don't know. Like that's one of the problems with these one take, one shot reviews where I do them immediately following the episode of Raw. It's that I have to go with my gut reaction, and my gut reaction is something didn't sit right with Oba squashing Lorgaza. I don't know how to pronounce their name, I apologize, but I was okay with Jacob destroying and dismantling the Usos and Roman. So I don't know, I might have to sleep on this one and tell you on hot takes tomorrow, but let's just go over the entire episode of Raw. But if anybody is out there that kind of knows what I'm feeling, please comment below and help me process what I'm feeling right now, because I don't know. Oba Femi, right? He goes out and he says, I have an open challenge, right? But then Adam Pearce is already saying, nobody wants to challenge you. We're in week 2 of Oba Femi's open challenge and nobody wants to challenge him already. So what are we going to do next week? So like, I just don't know. I don't know. This is the problem you have when you don't have a story follow-up for something big. I do believe in my heart of hearts that Oba Femi should have beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I didn't know he was going to retire him, but I knew he should beat him. The problem is, I also knew that Triple H doesn't have a good track record of following up big moments with something equally big. And now we're in a situation where 2 weeks after an open challenge has started, that Oba already has everybody running scared of him. It's like, okay, what are we going to do next week and the week after that? Because it sounds like there's nothing for Oba Femi, and that's a big problem. That's a big problem right now. And so I'm not, he did beat Lorgaza. And what I don't like about this is Lorgaza just got beat up on SmackDown. But fine, it was one-on-one against Powerhouse Hobbs. Not Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys, but it was one-on-one. So fine, whatever. But then they come to Raw and like the tag team division is already in shambles. So they're like, hey, we want an opportunity. And then they get beat 2-on-1. Like, I can never look at these guys as a credible threat. Like, can I ever see them as a credible threat again? Because on their first night, as they look for an opportunity, they got beat in a handicap match. I know Oba Femi's the man, but still, they were beat in a handicap match. Maybe that's the difference, because Jacob Fatu kind of surprise attacked everybody, and he didn't pin the Usos or Roman in the final segment. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Let's start it off at the beginning of Raw. After I tell you about the belt giveaway at 30,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away this belt on my shoulder. All you got to do is comment below and subscribe to the channel to win. And you can win. It's not a toy. It's a replica. All right, so we start off with Roman Reigns actually asking Adam Pearce, why isn't my belt here? As far as I knew, wrestlers had to take their belt with them. I did notice last week that Roman had the belt waiting for him when he got there, and this week, he's like, where's my belt? When he gets out of his car, and Adam Pearce is like, someone give him his belt, someone, and then he gets the belt, and they did a very effective job of really diminishing the role of Adam Pearce. He has no power when it comes to Roman Reigns, because he's like, Roman, I don't like how Jacob like kind of handled you last night. I really think he should be out of a job. And Roman's like, who okayed him? You did, Roman. All right, well then I'll see him in the ring tonight. and Adam Pearce is like, all right, Roman. So like Roman is like, he has more stroke than Adam Pearce, which is a very heel thing to have and do, but I guess Roman is above face and heeldoms. Whatever. Okay, so Roman's in charge of Raw. Roman is your general manager of Raw. Then what do we do? So we go, and then throughout the night, Jimmy and Jay are going to be saying things like, Roman, you shouldn't go up against Jacob. Jacob is a crazy man. And at one point, Jimmy goes to Jay and say, I think sometimes Roman is delusional. So we're going to see if we have evil tribal chief Roman or not, because no way, no how would Roman allow anyone to talk like that before WrestleMania 40 about him. Calling him delusional, that's crazy talk. So we shall see there. Okay, so we start off with the Vision come out, and God, just end the Vision, please. They are I don't know. They just like, I feel nothing when they come out. Absolutely nothing. We have Austin Theory, Logan Paul, Braun Breaker. They're in the ring. They talk about how Braun beat Seth, and Seth doesn't have a vision, not a blah, blah, blah. Austin Theory says Montez Ford is only coming at him because he needs a paycheck now that Bianca, the breadwinner, is pregnant. And then later Montez Ford comes out and he's like, yeah, you're right. That's one way to stop a burn. Yeah, you're right. Agree with it. Lean into it. And honestly, I think that's what everybody's going to say now to Montez Ford. That's going to be the thing they say. Just like when John Cena broke up with Nikki Bella, that was the one thing they could do. They could just slam that breakup. In fact, Austin Theory actually made fun of John Cena for that. So low-hanging fruit there. And then this leads to eventually Joe Hendry starts singing the Fire Logan Paul song again. And what are we doing with Joe Hendry? Is that, I mean, I get it. That's his thing. He sings, but like, he's such a background player in this. Like, all he did was sing. Then he gets in, has a tag match, and the Street Profits and Joe Hendry will win because Seth Rollins actually comes out and attacks Braun Breaker. So it doesn't look like their feud is done. And I guess I could see why their feud wouldn't be done. But yeah, we just need to splinter off Braun Breaker. He doesn't need Austin Theory. He doesn't need Logan Paul. Just let's go on our merry way here. And Angelo Dawkins will actually pin Austin Theory, I think, because of Seth freaking Rollins. After the match, Seth will help Dawkins up, but then Braun Breaker will spear Dawkins. Seth will jump out of the way. He doesn't push Dawkins out of the way, but he doesn't push him in the way. He just gets out of the way, and that will make Montez Ford upset. Now, if this leads to Montez Ford versus Seth Rollins in a one-on-one match, I'd actually be very, very interested in that. I've been wanting to see Montez Ford go solo for a while now, so that would be kind of sort of really cool. We are going to get the Profits versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory at Saturday's main event. We're also going to get Penta versus Ethan Page at Saturday's main event. Ethan Page came out and he was like, yeah, I want a match with you. And Penta's like, let's do it right now. He's like, nope, Saturday's main event. But then Rusev comes out and Rusev's like, Ethan, I kind of like you, but I also was on the tag team match last week that you pinned Penta. So I kind of want this. And then Ethan Page was like, yeah, no, totally, I agree with you. However, and then he starts lying. Well, maybe lying. It's he said, she said. Well, he said, in that he's like, Javon said, I was talking to Adam Pearce, I was saying how you should get a match, but then Javon came in and was like, no, he shouldn't get a match because I can beat Rusev. And then Rusev was like, what? He said that? And so I like that. I like Ethan Page kind of manipulating Rusev, and then Javon comes out and he's like, whoa, and he's like, you're lying, I never said that. And Ethan Page pushes Javon into Rusev, and we have ourselves a match. This is one of the interesting calls here. Javon legit beat Rusev clean. He just beat him clean, and I was very like, I don't know how I feel about this. Now, I do feel Javon, he needs victories. He absolutely 100% needs victories. But, like, clean? Like, we could do something? Even Ethan Page kind of, like, I don't know. It was just weird because, like, I don't see what we can do with Rusev now. Rusev has now lost to Penta, and he has now lost to Javon Evans, all clean. It's like there's really nowhere for him to go right now. So I'm really hoping that Hunter has a plan for Rusev now. Otherwise, this is just like, I don't know, it'll probably be future endeavored. Maybe Rusev is the next to get cut. Great for Javon Evans. Like, he hasn't had, like, the big wins, so he needed this, but Rusev, like, I mean, couldn't we have protected him somehow? Some way? Like, maybe we could have, like, protected him tonight, and then they could have went to Clash in Paris or Italy, had a proper match for a number one contendership for the Intercontinental, and that's when Javon beats him. I'm not opposed to Javon beating Rusev, but I am opposed to him beating him clean on free TV. Just put it on a PLE. And, but at the end of the day, like, I conflicted, but, like, it was the right call. Javon winning was the right call. I just wish Rusev would have been a little more protected. Then we have Io and Asuka. I didn't like this. So they meet Io and Asuka, they're backstage, they look at each other, and then they hug. And Asuka's like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I've been looking for someone to take over for me, and you're the one. And then Io's like, I'm gonna miss you. And she's like, see you later. And then she walks out the door with her luggage. And it's like, if Asuka was in the building, why didn't we let Asuka cut a promo? Like, they never said she was retired. They even said, oh, she's, we're going to address this later in the night, and they didn't really address it at all later in the night. Reports are saying that Asuka is semi-retired, so I'm thinking that maybe Asuka will, like, you know, wrestle once a year, twice a year, but, like, she's not doing the John Cena where she's like, I'll never wrestle again, but I think her full-time career is completely over. And it might not even be like a part-time career. It might literally be once this year, twice next year, something like that. But again, why didn't we have Asuka just go to the ring and talk? Why didn't we give her 10 minutes, 5 minutes, something? That, to me, very missed opportunity and disrespectful. If that was her last appearance on TV for an entire year, let her talk in the ring. Let her say goodbye properly. Let her hug Io Sky in the ring. Like, give me a break. That did not sit right with me. And then Io Sky will go and have a match with Soul Ruka. And this got my head scratching. So I am not like, there's a lot of people are really on board the Soul Ruka train. And I like Soul Ruka, but I'm not like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably like a 7 or an 8 on the Soul Ruka train, but I see how talented she is, and I can totally see, I just haven't connected with her because I haven't got a storyline as of yet to connect with her on the main roster, but I can definitely 100% see how talented she is and how she is the future. So I don't understand why we had her fight Io Sky here, because I'm like, Io Sky just beat Asuka. Io Sky needs to win, but Soul Ruka can't afford to win. It's kind of like Javon Evans earlier. Soul Ruka kind of needed a win here because 2 weeks ago she lost to Liv Morgan, and then Soul Ruka lost clean. I didn't understand this. Like, why couldn't, and then Becky Lynch is in the building. So why didn't we have Becky Lynch come out and at least cost Soul Ruka the match if we had to let Soul lose? This was a no-win situation here because both parties needed to win. Io Sky needed to win this, and then Soul Ruka needed to win this. And then we just had Soul Ruka lose. So now Soul Ruka has lost to Liv Morgan, and now she has lost to Io Sky. That's a head scratcher. That's a head scratcher to me. It's like, we needed to protect Soul Ruka here at the very least, but honestly, she just probably shouldn't have been in a match. I love Ivy Nile, but at the end, just let her beat Ivy Nile or someone. Let her beat Natty even. I know, Natty has a lot of fans out there. I'm not trying to disrespect Natty, but like, Soul Ruka, as the rookie here, who already lost on the main roster, needs to win. And that's not even coming from somebody who's like like I said, I'm not even the biggest Soul Ruka fan, but I understand like what her role is right now, and she needs to be winning. I can see that she has that connection with the crowd. I just haven't connected with her yet, but I bet it's gonna happen. Took me like 2 years to connect with Io Sky. I didn't like Io Sky until her match with Bayley, I think. No, her match with Bianca Belair on a random Raw. It took me like years to like Io Sky, and then one day it just clicked. That'll probably happen with Soul Ruka for me. One day it'll just click, and I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of like her now, but like, whether or not I like her, or love her, hate her, which I don't, it's like she needs to be protected and get victories. And this match just shouldn't have happened. And it was also funny, like even though Rhea wasn't on tonight's show, she still got a package before Io Sky's match. It's like Io is going to be forever in Rhea's shadow. Why did we have this Rhea Ripley package on Raw? She's right now on SmackDown. Take that package and put it on SmackDown. Like, they should have probably just gave Soul Ruka the video package and gave Rhea Ripley the package for SmackDown. Then what do we got? Dominic Mysterio versus OG El Grande Americano. And they put the AAA title on the line. And the implications is this. If Grande Americano wins this, OG, well, then he's going to go at the end of the month to fight the other tall Grande Americano in a mask versus mask match. But if OG wins the title here, well, then that will be a title bout. So that is an important part here, because Dominic Mysterio, he's going to the ring, right, with JD McDonough, and Finn Balor will attack JD. And then he's like, well, Dom, looks like you have to go in alone. And that was cool. I actually did like that story beat right there. So Dom is like, oh, A, he doesn't help JD, and B, he goes in it alone. And Finn gets to one-up Dom in Judgment Day. So I like that. Then Dom goes out, he fights OG, right? And at some point, tall Grande Americano comes out and attacks OG and starts trying to help Dirty Dom. That doesn't make sense. Even if the Grandes hate each other, tall Grande Americano, it's in his best interest for OG Grande Americano to win, because that would mean at the end of the month, tall Grande gets a title shot. But no, he helped Dirty Dom to win. Why would he help Dirty Dom to win? He cannot hate Grande Americano, OG, that much that it would trump him wanting a title. Does that make sense? He literally should have helped OG win so he could get a title shot. Like, this stuff just needs to make sense. The Oba Femi challenge, it doesn't make sense to 2 weeks into this that nobody wants to fight Oba Femi already. We should have been 4 weeks, 5 weeks into the open challenge before everybody got scared or there was nobody else left to fight him. Because now, what do we do next week? Right? Like, are they actually planning these things out? We're letting Rusev just take a clean pin. We're letting Soul Ruka just take a clean pin. Oba Femi has already run out of challengers 2 weeks in. OG Grande, like, if he had the title, then Tall Grande would have got a title shot. Why doesn't Asuka get 10 minutes in the ring to say goodbye? Maybe I didn't like this Raw, because at first I was like, yeah, this Raw was fine, but now I'm like, the logic in these things, it doesn't make sense. Although I did like Brie Bella and Paige, they came out, and Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez was like, remember when I looked up to you as a kid and we met? Yeah, I wanted to, you set the bar so low. And then Nikki's like, or Bree's like, your mom would be disappointed. I wonder if she was talking about AJ Lee, who's kind of like her wrestling mom, because like Roxanne Perez and her family, as far as I know, is like still like in good graces. It's just AJ Lee and CM Punk are like her wrestling parents. And then Roxanne Perez makes fun of Paige and is like, yeah, we're just waiting for your next scandal. You've had more opportunities than anything. And then Paige just socks her in her face. But then Liv Morgan attacks. I did like Liv Morgan attacking, because I like when a faction is all united and not just everybody helps the main person, the leader. I like that when the leader actually helps the faction attack also. So Liv and Raquel and Roxanne Perez looked really strong there. And then we have, I think that's it in regards to, like, and again, Becky Lynch, she should have, that's another thing. Becky Lynch, why didn't she cost Soul Ruka the match? But I already talked about that. And then we have at the end, Roman Reigns, he's out there. You need to acknowledge me. And Jacob comes, he gets out of the car, and Jay's like, you don't go out there. He headbutts Jay, doesn't connect. But whatever. He doesn't connect, and then he beats him up. Then he goes out. Jimmy tries to meet him, and then he beats up Jimmy, and then he goes into the ring, and he beats up Roman. Roman does get a comeback, but at the end of it, Roman gets beat up. He gets put through a table. The fans are chanting, table, 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 so they don't care. They don't care that it's Roman Reigns. They just want blood. And Roman is actually bleeding out his elbow. Jacob looked like the Jacob when he first debuted, where he fought Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. It's been a long time since I felt that Jacob, and I felt it here. Jacob is embracing the heel thing, so I'm really liking that. And honestly, if Jacob beat Roman and then Oba and Jacob fought each other, that would be like pretty cool. Two very dominant yet new to the main event scene. Probably won't happen. It's probably going to be Roman. It should probably be Roman. Roman should be the one who loses to Oba Femi, just to further cement that rise. But that's all. That's kick that down the road. Jacob beats everybody up. He starts to leave, but then the credits start to roll, but then Jacob's like, nah, I gotta beat him up more. And then he runs back and he boom, right through the barricade and lays out the Usos and Roman. I need to see Roman go scorch earth next week, okay? I know people are probably going to be like, I can't believe they made Roman look so weak here. I'm kind of okay with it. It depends on what next week brings us. Roman has to go full bloodline Roman right now. He has to realize this pandering to the fans and stuff is making him weak. I need Roman now to go completely dark side. But yeah, so I'm very conflicted. I think it's just like the pieces are there, but they're in the wrong places. Like Oba Femi's open challenge. We should bring back Ryback even. Bring back some old people, some people from yesteryear for Oba to beat and win against. Or just have it one Largaza at a time. I just don't know. Have some NXT guys and gals come up. It's fine if the NXT guys lose to Oba Femi. There's no issue there. Have Hank come in and then Tank come in. It's Jasper Troy, have them go. Let's, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I just, conflicted. But that's the problem with these one-take one-shots. I'll probably wake up in the morning and regret everything I said. I'm going to give this Raw a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nothing really felt urgent until Jacob Fatu at the end of the show. And the Vision need to break up, and we need to protect our people more on free TV. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh. Maybe I'm just being a negative Nelly. I don't know. You let me know in the comments below. Boys, girls, have yourselves a great day.